Good afternoon, good evening. This is YieldMaxMindset YouTube channel coming to you with YieldMax ETF, RoundHill ETF, Kurv ETF. Some of these will pay out on today, a few out on Wednesday, and majority of these will pay out on Thursday. This is group one for the restructuring of YieldMax ETFs and others. So let's get to it. These prices vary each week and month. If you should happen to own some of the above ETF, here's a roundabout payout you should receive. Below is what you will get paid out for owning the number of shares multiplied by the price per share. First up is CHPY weekly ETF. At 315, it was 57.18. It previously closed at 56.92. Previously paid out 43 cents, currently paying out 41 cents. So if you invested over $2,846 into this fund, you'll get 50 shares. 50 shares will get you $20.33. Next, we'll have FEET. FEET did not pay out a distribution this time, so we will move on. FEVI did not pay out a distribution, so we'll move on. All other data is correct. All right, next we'll have GPTY. Didn't close, but at 311 it was 47.49. Previously closed at 47.59. Previously paid out 30 cents, currently paying out 31 cents. So if you invest over $4,759 in this fund, that will get you 100 shares. 100 shares will get you $31.44 this week. Next we have LFG. Around 316, it was 31.18. Previously closed at 37.82. Previously paid out 51 cents. Currently paying out 58 cents. So if you invested over $18,910, you will get 500 shares. 500 shares will get you $291.55. Next, we have QDTY. Around 309, it was 44.63. Previously closed at 45.51. Previously paid out 25 cents. Currently paying out, guess what? 25 cents. So if you had invested $45,510, you would have gotten 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares would have gotten you a payout this week of $245.70. Next, we have RDTY. Around 329, it was 44.13. Previously closed at 44.72. Previously paid out 36 cents. Currently paying out 26 cents. So if you had invested $89,440 into this fund, you would have gotten 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares would have gotten you a payment of $528.20 this week. Next, we have SDTY. Around 312, it was 44.98. Previously closed at 45.66. Previously paid out 16 cents, currently paying out 14 cents. So if you had invested $91,320 into this fund, that would have gotten you 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares would have gotten you a $281.40 payout this coming week. Next, we have SLTY. Around 324, it was $39. Previously closed at $40.20. Previously paid out 61 cents. Currently paying out 46 cents. So had you invested over $201,000 into this fund, you would have gotten 5,000 shares. 5,000 shares would have gotten you a payout this week of $2,305. Next, we have OT. OT at 329 was 545. Previously closed at $5.50. Previously paid out 0.0904. Currently paying out 0.008. So had you invested over $55,000 of this fund, you would have gotten 10,000 shares, and 10,000 shares would have gotten you a payment of $908 this week. Next we have YMAG. YMAG at 330 was 15.24. Previously closed at 15.58. Previously paid out 21 cents. Currently paying out 20 cents. So if you invested $779 into this fund, that would have gotten you 50 shares. 50 shares would have gotten you a payment of $10.05 this week. Next we have YMAX. YMAX at 316 was 12.71. Previously closed at $12.94. Previously paid out 15 cents. Currently paying out 17 cents. Had you invested $1,294 into this fund, that would have gotten you $100. 100 shares. 100 shares would have gotten you a payment of $17.43 this week. Next, we have RoundHill, YBTC, at 344 was $40.63. Previously closed at $44.06. Previously paid out 38 cents. Currently paying out 39 cents. Had you invested $22,030 into this fund, that would have gotten you 500 shares. 500 shares would have gotten you a payment of $194.43 this week. Next, we have Yeet of RoundHill ETF. It closed $27.67 last time. Last time it paid out 36 cents, and it is currently paying out 35 cents. So had you invested $55,340 into this fund, that would have gotten you 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares would have gotten you a payment of $697.79. Next, we have Maggie of RoundHill Weekly ETF. At 352, it was $55.40. Previously closed at $56.54. All right. Previously paid out 38 cents. Currently paying out, guess what? 38 cents. So had you invested $113,080 into this fund, that would have gotten you 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares would have gotten you a payment of $752.68. Next, we have WePay of RoundHill. It says monthly, but it's actually weekly. So it previously closed at $55.74. Previously paid out 74 cents. Currently paying out 86 cents. So had you invested $55,730 into this fund, that would have gotten you 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares would have gotten you a payment of $856.94. Next, we have Week of RoundHill Weekly ETF. Previously closed at 100. It was at $100 at 337 today. It previously paid out 0.07545, and it is currently paying out 0.075664. So had you invested $1 million into this fund, it would have gotten you 10,000 shares. 10,000 shares would have gotten you a weekly payment of $756.64. Next, you have Kurv ETF, AMZP. It says monthly, but yes, this is monthly. That's right, this is monthly. All right, so it previously closed around $30.04, and at 4 o'clock at close, it was $28.38. Previously paid out 50 cents, currently paying out, guess what? 50 cents. So had you invested $15,020 into this fund, that would have gotten you 500 shares. 500 shares would have gotten you a payment of $250. Next, we have Kurv Monthly ETF, GOOP. It previously closed around $33.74. Closed today at $32.46. Previously paid out 40 cents, currently paying out 65 cents. So had you invested $67,480 into this fund, that would have gotten you 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares would have gotten you a payment of $1,300. All right, this is YieldMax Mindset. I want to say thank each and every one for dropping by, viewing this channel. Like, comment, and share. And let's continue to get our distributions and our monthly and weekly income. This is YieldMax Mindset signing off. Good day.